Outside of the cage. He scored a goal against Virginia this season, did Sky Wallen. The officials tonight, Brian Abbott, Tim Luxinger, and Austin Cooper. We are off and running the final game in the Big Ten Conference. Opening week of conference play. It is Rutgers in the dark jerseys at 7-1. Ohio State on home turf in the gray.
About turns, defender runs past him. McGee gets his hands free, finds pay dirt.
He had Ryan Decker spinning around like a top there. McGee's on the board first. Possession belongs to Rutgers. Scarlet Knights, John Dugenio, 91 in the black. He'll take the majority of.
Alley instead. Schneider slides. Savetti fills a vacant space, redirects it.
Great to have you on board for this Sunday night special. Lacrosse on Big Ten Network. Fritz wins the draw. A wrestler who plays with a low center of gravity, earning the possession now for the Buckeyes in gray.
Yeah, I mean this with all due respect. He's like a bowling ball out there, low to the ground, built like a fire hydrant, very, very strong. Wins that one cleanly after 2 violations early. Side stretch shooter, plants his feet, picks his spot, finds the upper 90.
Sun is setting. Most of the stadium, most of the field is enveloped by shadows, but the goalkeepers are still in sunlight, perhaps altering their vision on some of these outside shots in the early going.
Spoken like a goal. Great range in addition to being able to score in tight quarters, and that one finds the back of the cage.
Dugenio and Fritz at the face-off dot. Ball down, wing players get involved. Good scoop out of the pack from Hudgens. As the ball flies high in the air, it's the netminder Wallen who will clean it up. Rutgers head coach Brian Breck, yeah, his team is high octane, all sorts of offense, but it's Coach Breck who says that the defense has been so consistent, very strong, to the tune of a 7-1 record so far.
1 loss on the great look from 19 Borda.
You know that guy is going to finish. He had 41 goals last spring, multiple goals in 13 of 16 games. He's given the Buckeyes the 3-2 advantage with a little bit more than 5 minutes to operate in the opening.
That's going to be the result more times than not.
Transfer from Yale, Joe Newman takes this draw for Rutgers in the black jerseys. Off the wing, Cullen Brown looking for it. They scramble for the loose ground ball, and it comes up for the Buckeyes. Wandering to the midline, and then some, Marcus Hudgens. He'll team up with Caputo. Final 40 seconds of this opening quarter with Ohio State doubling up Rutgers.
This might be the most balanced the Big Ten has been since the formation of the conference back in, what was that, 2014, 2015. It's going to be a terrific year, conference-wise, here in the Big Ten.
Dugenio won the draw for Rutgers. Scarlet Knights in the black jerseys, settling into an offensive touch here to begin the second quarter. This is a Rutgers team that has won 6. Head coach Brian Brecht of Rutgers knew that he'd be a handful. Dugenio gets the draw, right back for an offensive possession. The largest lead on the night so far for the Buckeyes at 5-2.
And I think with is fired up.
4 unanswered goals for Ohio State. This top 20 showdown in Columbus is going the Buckeyes' way. Another win of the draw. Colby Smith rolling to the interior, waiting for the sub, and it's already
a lot more face-offs. The Buckeyes love playing in their brand new facility.
Dugenio gets the draw, beating Matt Fritz there. Scarlet Knights last on the board with 6:25 to go in the opening quarter. It's been a lengthy drought now, just a little bit more than 4 minutes with which to work in the opening half as the lights are starting to take effect here in Columbus. A timeout was called to maintain possession. Scarlet Knights asking for it. A Rutgers
finish by number 27, Shane Knobloch.
Ending a nearly 25-minute drought. Knobloch's in double figures. Off the draw, Buckeyes with it.
Oh, nobody picks him up. Look at the placement of this shot. And you could tell from a mile away that Sharon was going to shoot that bad boy. Opposite side hip bouncer. Huge goal. What an answer for Ohio State.
Senior from Georgia had an assist against Denver last week. Dugenio wins the draw, racing back, and then he put a sidewinder off the target. The two markers just 5 seconds, according to Brian Brecht. And Brian said, you know what, the pressure's off him. And he has responded with goals time after time. A face-off win there for James Hogan. Hogan and Matt Fritz subbing in for Drew Blanchard. Blanchard was having an outstanding season, close to 63%. The injury keeping him out of tonight's ball game.
Cut the lead down to 3.
After the nearly 25-minute drought, 3 goals in just more than 90 seconds. Dugenio looking for another one. That missile was sailed high, and then he was smoked.
Yeah.
Hit hard by Van Buren.
That's a big miss. That was a late hit.
Carolina, Cleveland State, Air Force, Notre Dame, and now Rutgers, his 5th on the campaign. It's 9-5 for the Buckeyes on home turf. Dugenio getting into a nice rhythm at the face-off dot, has possession for Rutgers.
He's done well tonight. Rutgers has to turn these extra possessions into goals. And the start of the face-off was, the game was delayed by about 90 minutes, and I finally was able to meet Yuli, and he's like, you know what? He goes, I can't pack the daggone things in the bags. Great to see him out there competing. You see that big brace on his knee. Terrific shooter. Been so impressed with his stick work, range, quick release. Always have to account for number 4 in the scarlet and gray.
Dugenio gets the draw for Rutgers. The Scarlet Knights ranked.
To rip it in transition, they always have the green light.
Noah Daniels with goals in 3 straight. He has 2 in the game for Rutgers tonight. We get a hold off the draw. Possession for Rutgers with 12:20 to go in regulation.
That's where wing guards, high to low, finishes it.
Fritz at the face-off dot against Dugenio. Dugenio skips out of there with it. Possession for Rutgers.
It's been go time, critical time for a while now for Rutgers. Now it's really time to get after it.
Winners of 5 straight, just once beaten Rutgers. They fell 14-13.
Things have happened.
Savetti's been a reliable shooter this season, better than 40% on the campaign. Dugenio gets possession for Rutgers, desperately needed now, down 4 in the final 90 seconds. Off and running, the Daniels bid that's over top of the goal. The short stick D-Mitty, Noah Daniels.